For this deep dive today, we are looking at a very specific document.
Quite a very, very detailed one.
Yeah, exactly. We're looking at the February 19th, 2026 meeting minutes of the APWU. That's the American Postal Workers Union, Local 497.
And I know what you might be thinking.
Right, you hear the words monthly membership meeting minutes and...
It sounds like a total cure for insomnia.
Exactly, a cure for insomnia. But the reality is actually so much more interesting. These minutes are a fascinating raw glimpse into the real-world machinery of the American workplace.
They really are. I mean, union minutes are way more than just attendance records or administrative boilerplate.
Yeah, they're the raw, unfiltered record.
Right. They are legally mandated chronicles of labor relations. You've got safety struggles, local democracy in action, all of it playing out on the floor.
And so our mission today is to just pull back the curtain on these specific minutes. We're going to uncover the triumphs, the bureaucratic battles, and honestly, the surprising drama hidden right there in the official notes.
The drama is very real. It helps to view a document like this as a microcosm.
Let's set the stage then. The scene opens with a guy named Ed Rowell. He calls the meeting to order, and the time is exactly 6:36 p.m.
Very precise.
Always. And they start with a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. But what struck me is the intimate scale of this room.
Right. It's not a massive stadium.
No, not at all. The minutes note there are 12 officers present, 5 are absent, and there are exactly 19 members in attendance.
Wow.
Yeah, just 19 members. It's a Thursday evening, the workday is done, and these folks are just showing up to do the hard work of governing themselves.
That ratio is so telling, though. 12 officers to 19 members. It really shows you the core, dedicated group that actively manages the local's affairs.
And the very first major thing they do is welcome the new blood.
Which is the lifeblood of any organization, right?
Exactly. They read the names of 11 new members into the official record.
And they are spread across the crafts, too.
Yeah, you've got new folks in maintenance, the clerk craft, and MVS, the motor vehicle service.
It's a formal induction. But right after that, they actually suspend the regular order of business.
Yeah, for a historic send-off. This was a really nice moment. Ed Rowell suspends things for a special presentation to honor a retiring member named Stu Kibbe.
Over 40 years of service.
40 years. Ed gives this personalized speech and presents Stu with a plaque for his, and I'm quoting the minutes here, steadfast dedication, integrity, and timeless advocacy.
Which means Stu has been navigating Postal Service changes since the 1980s.
Yeah, he's seen it all.
What's fascinating here is the exchange that happens next. Because Stu doesn't just take the plaque and sit down.
No, he actually gives something back.
Right. He brings a gift for the union, a framed news article from the Springfield Republican.
From a March 20th, 2025 day of action.
Exactly. And that is such a strategic move. He is taking 4 decades of institutional memory with him into retirement. But by giving them that framed article, he's anchoring the current members and those 11 new members to their own history.
It's like an intergenerational transfer of culture and pride.
Yeah, he's reminding them that today's battles are part of a long continuum.
Okay, let's unpack this next part, because right after that nice moment, the minutes drop us straight into the nitty-gritty, the president's report.
Right down to business.
Ed Rowell kicks it off with what seems like a microscopic detail. A cost of living adjustment, or COA, of exactly 12 cents per hour.
12 cents.
Just 12 cents. On paper, it sounds like nothing.
So you have to do the math.
Right. Multiply 12 cents by 40 hours a week, 52 weeks a year, across all the workers in the local. It is a huge contractual win.
And that's just the baseline, because they immediately transition into the ongoing grievance process for something called Package 4530s.
Where seniority had to be fiercely protected.
Because in a union environment, seniority is absolutely everything.
It dictates the daily grind.
It dictates your schedule, your vacation time, your duties, everything.
Which brings us to the craft reports. Because this is where you really see the sheer volume of logistical hurdles these workers face every single day.
It gets chaotic very fast.
Oh, yeah. We hear from the MVS and clerk crafts. First, management decided to create 2 entirely different tours in the VMF.
The vehicle maintenance facility.
Right.
Creating 2 distinct tours, there is a massive disruption. That's where the mechanics maintain the mail trucks. Splitting them into 2 tours means fundamentally changing people's working hours.
It upends everything. Childcare, sleep schedules.
Daily routines entirely.
Yeah.
And management doesn't do that lightly. So the union has to heavily scrutinize how those new slots are filled.
Which explains the totally messy live bidding process that
Oh,
follows.
the live bids.
The minutes note that management actually sent two completely different bid packages to the union.
Which is a nightmare.
Yeah, the union was forced to proceed with the second one from February 2nd. The disruption was so bad they had to postpone their regular labor management meeting.
Because bidding is how you choose your shifts based on seniority. A live bid means you're making career-altering decisions in real time. If management gives you conflicting packages, the data is flawed.
It's a domino effect.
Exactly. If one person bids on a slot that doesn't exist, every subsequent bid is invalid.
Total operational chaos. And while they're untangling that, they're also preparing a snow grievance, plus dealing with 5 separate OWCP claims in a single area.
The Office of Workers' Compensation Programs.
Right. 5 federal injury claims in one spot. It got so bad, the clerk craft director had to remind employees to use their 1767 forms.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it's vital to recognize why these procedural details matter. These aren't just administrative headaches.
They're the front lines.
Yes, the front lines of labor management relations. Ensuring fairness in live bidding prevents favoritism, making sure overtime is equitable, which the minutes note is now handled by Renee Refuse for all tours that prevents wage theft.
And if the injury reporting breaks down, people get hurt.
The physical environment becomes genuinely dangerous.
And here's where it gets really interesting. Because the minutes shift from these administrative disruptions to actual severe physical hazards.
The safety reports.
Yeah, the maintenance, craft, and safety reports. First, there's an OSHA issue. An abundance of recyclable cardboard and plastic.
Which is not just messy.
No, district labor had to step in and recommend increasing pickups from once a week to 3 times a week. But the duration of the pickups still needs to be increased.
Because a buildup of cardboard in an industrial facility is a severe fire hazard, and it blocks egress routes.
And compounding that hazard, this is wild, the allotted hours for maintenance were mysteriously slashed from 5,000 down to 3,000 annually.
Or 2,000-hour cut.
With zero explanation. And now they have to wait for an arbitration date just to fight it.
It's a classic squeeze tactic.
How so?
Well, you have an escalating physical hazard with the cardboard, right?
Yeah.
And simultaneously, management starves the resources of the exact people whose job it is to clean it up.
So they have no choice but to file grievances.
Exactly. They have to document every single safety violation to build a paper trail for the arbitrator.
And that paper trail becomes literally life or death with the next line item. This is the most shocking thing in the entire document. Legionella pneumophila.
The bacteria that causes Legionnaire's disease.
Yes, a severe and often deadly form of pneumonia. The union formally requested a standard operating procedure, an SOP, for dealing with it, and management completely refused.
You refuse a safety plan for a deadly pathogen.
Completely. So now the grievance is sitting at step 3 with Dave Sarnacki and district labor.
To understand how serious that is, we should define step 3. The grievance procedure escalates. Step 1 is your immediate supervisor. Step 2 is the facility manager.
So step 3 is?
Step 3 means it has escalated past local management entirely. It's at the regional or district level. It means local management stonewalled them completely on a basic biological threat.
It's terrifying. And that resistance to safety extends to routine stuff, too. In the safety and health report from Jesus Rivera, we see management explicitly tried to block a member named Jay from a safety walkthrough.
Just for being a union member.
Yeah, simply because he was a local 497 member. They had to have a whole separate meeting with Joy just to get Jay allowed on the walkthrough.
The union is actively battling on multiple safety fronts here, from simple cardboard to biological threats.
Which brings us back to the advice about filing those PS Form 1767s. The minutes quote a very specific directive. Do not make it personal, just report the safety issue.
That is a masterclass in processional self-protection.
Really? How so?
Because a 1767 is a federally recognized document. When a worker files it, management is legally required to investigate by the end of their shift and respond in writing.
It's a legal shield.
Precisely. But if you let frustration bleed into it, if you write that your supervisor is a jerk for not cleaning up the cardboard, management can suddenly recategorize it.
Oh, they'll make it an interpersonal issue.
Yes, an employee conduct issue instead of a safety hazard. By saying, do not make it personal, the leadership is training members to keep their documentation objectively bulletproof. They force management to respond to the hazard, not the emotion.
That is incredibly smart. But the tone of the meeting totally shifts when we move into the new business section.
Right, we move from safety hazards to union democracy.
Yeah, local democracy in action, complete with some serious parliamentary procedure. The big debate is over the Northeast States Convention happening in Maine, May 1st to the 3rd, 2026.
Conventions are vital, but they are not cheap.
No, they're not. Ed Rowell originally motions to send two people, Charlie Morin and Justin Deslores. But Stu Kibbe, our retiring 40-year veteran, immediately asks for the cost breakdown,
He wants the receipts?
and Ed has them ready. The highly specific costs are a $150 delegate fee, a $230 meal plan, and then $750 plus per delegate for lost time travel and the hotel.
So over $1,000 per person.
Yeah, and Stu Kibbe immediately uses parliamentary procedure to amend the motion. Instead of the president just picking two people, Stu amends it so that each craft director gets to select one delegate.
That is brilliant. It democratizes the whole process.
It passed too, but there's a catch. Because it adds more delegates, it changes the budget. So now it requires posting the new motion on the union door so the entire membership can vote on funding 5 additional delegates next month.
They can't just spend the money on the spot.
Exactly. And during this debate, Enid Rivera steps in to defend the value of the convention itself.
Right, because it's a huge expense. But Enid points out that it's a vital place to discuss local issues with national officers and NBAs.
The National Business Agents.
Yeah, the heavy hitters.
Yeah.
The ones who handle the Step 3 grievances like that Legionella issue.
Enid is reminding everyone that going to Maine is a strategic necessity to get their life-threatening issues in front of national leadership.
It's so serious. Which makes Stu Kibbe's next motion incredibly funny to me. Because right after this intense debate over thousands of dollars and regional strategy, Stu makes another motion to secure exactly 44 comfortable chairs for the Union Hall.
And the cost is incredibly precise,
$692 for 44 chairs.
which is a huge bargain. Right. But just imagine, the sheer necessity of comfortable seating during these long administrative meetings.
Oh, absolutely. You're sitting there for hours arguing over safety hazards and budgets. You need a good chair. And it shows how every dollar is scrutinized.
Totally. And that ground level focus continues into the good of the organization segment. This is my favorite part.
Morale, meat, and money.
Yes. Mike Sears makes a motion for a new member meet and greet, which ties right back to the 11 new members from the beginning. But then Justin Deslores jumps in with a critical amendment. It must include a pig roast.
A pig roast.
Yeah.
Which is great for solidarity, but
The red tape.
the red tape of barbecue.
Exactly. Because a pig roast will exceed $750, it triggers a bureaucratic catch. It legally must be posted and voted on at a later date. Plus, they note they have to wait until the weather improves anyway.
It just proves the financial controls are absolute,
Mhm.
even for a pig roast.
Even for a pig roast. So the meeting starts wrapping up with housekeeping and payouts. Nancy Kenyon and Deb Robert are formally excused under Article 6, Section 20, and then they deal with compensation for the acting secretary, Rhonda Wynn.
Who had to take these incredibly detailed minutes.
Yeah, an exhausting job. The initial motion was to compensate her for 8 hours of lost time, but Mike Smith amends it up to 12 hours.
Which is fair. Lost time is the wages she loses from her postal shift to do union work. Tracking all those amendments and safety debates is highly technical.
Yeah, they made sure she was fairly compensated. Then Mike Sears takes home the $20 door prize, and the meeting is adjourned at exactly 8:09 p.m.
Wrapping up a highly efficient 93 minutes of local democracy.
So what does this all mean? We just looked at a single 90-minute meeting, but it encapsulated 40-year legacies, biological safety hazards, contract disputes, and plans for a pig roast.
It's a perfect snapshot.
Right.
And what you have to remember is that this is happening in thousands of union halls across the country.
Every single month.
Every month. It is the invisible, often thankless work of people like Rhonda Wynn taking notes and Stu Kibbe asking about budgets. That is what keeps the American postal system and the workers who run it safe and functioning.
It really is. So next time you receive a piece of mail, I want you to think about that. Think about the incredibly complex web of grievances, safety walks, negotiated hours, and local democracy it took to get it to your door.
It's mind-boggling when you actually map it out.
It is, and it makes you wonder how many invisible systems in your own workplace or your own community are currently being held together by a handful of people arguing over budgets and buying comfortable chairs on a Tuesday night. Something to mull over. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, and we'll catch you next time.